Then if you're transacting transparently, the ledger, like the supply and this ledger accountability works as you described. But if you are transacting to the shielded pool or inside the shielded pools, then things are a little bit different. Currently, we have 3 shielded pools. One is deprecated, and you can only get money out of it, which is the first, really slow and heavy proof system from the 2016. And then, so every time you cross from one pool to the other, the amount is revealed. So fees are always public, like transaction fees are always public. Is the only amount that in the most shielded transaction, the fee will be amount will be disclosed because the miner reward and the Coinbase are public, right? And then when you jump from transparent to shielded, you know the amount and the fee, but you don't know anything about the shielded recipient. When you send money from the shielded pool to the transparent pool, you don't know anything about the sender, but you do know how much money is being sent and what's the fee. And then if you're transacting inside one of the shielded pools, like for example, the Orchard pool, which is the newest pool with the most modern zero knowledge technology, then nothing is known, but you know how much money went into that pool. So you can know how much value is in that pool. And if value goes out of the pool, you will know it because the transaction, the outgoing transaction from this pool of money to this other pool of money is the amounts are revealed. So there's always a consistency and public disclosure of the supply, but then there is the people or the addresses that are involved are shielded. If there are shielded parties involved. So that's how the whole supply is maintained, and this ledger is able to be calculated through the transaction history. But then there are a lot of things that you won't know, like anything related to shielded transactions, the people that use shielded addresses, you won't know nothing about them. You won't be able to know their balances or anything. But so still publicly, yeah.
What a simple way meaning that that essentially if you have a shielded address and you have shielded ZEC, it is essentially like a claim to the shielded ZEC pool, and that's why nobody can see on the ledger. You can see the total ZEC in that shielded pool, but then say there's 100 shielded addresses, you don't know how much each of those 100 addresses can claim essentially from the ZEC shielded pool. Is that how it works in like layman's terms?
Yeah, a little bit more farther down the road, because you have no way to tell how many addresses there are for shielded.
Right. So it could be 100, could be 1,000, could be 10,000. Yes. There's no way to know. And you
yes.
and essentially the ZEC is actually like technically in the shielded ZEC pool, right? Like it's not actually in the addresses. I was just reading the comments while you were doing that, but we were talking about the shielded pool and it essentially being like a claim.
Yes, it's